Okay, so welcome. It is 1 a.m., 1:09 a.m., 16th February 2026. I'm literally crashing out, but I'm awake. And I hope my audio is clear. I hope I can be heard. So let me start with GPY. Wow. So GPY, this was my analysis. Price comes mix with indication, correction, continuation. So you start. How do you mark your levels? Let me do. You mark your levels by first finding the significant high or low of a market. That basically is high points or low points of a market of any currency pair you choose to have. So, for example, in CHFGPY, the forward time frame, the trend is your friend. You are more likely to make more money in a trend than in a short term transaction in the market. So right now you gotten this high. Assuming let's say price was this at this area. You mark this high and you stretch it across. So that means you wait. You wait. Sorry. Once you mark a high, you can decide to trace it back. Follow the path down. Look at my cursor as I go down. And what did price do? Price made a low. So you can also mark that. I just don't feel like marking it, but I remembered I'm in class, so this is the low. Don't mark it too much, just mark it in a way that maybe you can come back to remember. It can help you maybe in the future analysis. You can decide to also trace that back and you'll find out, oh, it made a new high. It made a high. And what did I say in the beginning? Price usually, for you to enter the market, you need to come up with us. You need to know how you're coming. It's like you're in a vehicle. How do you get into this vehicle if it's coming at a high speed? So you need to get in through market structure. And how do you get in through market structure and price action? You mark the lows and the highs. As you can see, marking this high makes it easy for me to identify the low and also identify a high. And because you're using this strategy called ICC, indication, correction, continuation. So the market first tells you by indicating. It's an indicator. Imagine like a flashing light. It tells you something. Can be a warning, can be a signal, can be a code or whatever. So it flashes, it indicates to you in the market. Above this zone, there are buyers. So what do? You wait. You're waiting. And note this is the 4-hour time frame. Can you imagine waiting all this time? So this, we are lucky this is the 1 hour. This is 4 hour, one candlestick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. So 4 times 8, that is, sorry, just a second, I use my calculator. It's late. I'm trying to lock in, so 8 times 4, that's 32 hours. So when you're seeing trading, you need to understand that you just have to be really patient, extremely patient, and what you can do is mark up your key levels. So buyers came all the way up to here, and you need to know something also. When you're in the market, there are two things that you're going to do that will enable you make money, which is either buying or selling. There's nothing in between. those two. So when people are selling, they will sell into a level of buyers, and when buyers are buying, they will buy into a level of sellers. So you need to understand it. So when price broke this level, price was buying, and it was buying to a level of buyers. How do we know what was the? It was buying into a level of sellers. Sorry. How do we know this is the level of sellers? Because it was the highest point of the market, or at the current time, the market was at this level. This was the highest point. Kind of like here, this was the highest point so far. So right now, what you do is you mark that high. Now you wait and wait and wait. So what you do is you mark up your level, but you always need to be. It is advisable to remain stick to the higher time frames because they are stronger. So this means you'll have to wait for maybe even a week or two. For, actually, not even a week or two. Maybe even a week or two, and then. Sorry, I stepped out a bit. I wonder where I was. I think I was here. So just a recap, this was to mean that you'd have to be patiently waiting. So I think what you do, best thing to do is you put alerts. If you put an alert here, that means the next time price comes here, you just enter a buy. But how do you just enter a buy? You have to wait for the market structure to form in an uptrend. As you can see, this is an uptrend. It even comes from up here, but you can see low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. No, it's a lower low. Then break. Is this an equal high? Equal high, higher low, break, higher high, breaks to break this point to make a new low. If it makes a new low, it has to make at least a lower high, even though the trend is changing. So the reason why I took this trade is because I thought it has to make a lower high. I haven't taken this trade, but I've marked this trade to make a lower high, then sell. But now the thing is, you can never control the market. The market can decide to sell because then again, remember anything below here, sellers. As you can see below here, there are sellers. All these are sellers. The market then bought for the continuation. Then sellers came in. They sold to make a new higher low. Then bought, then sellers. So even as you can see below this high, significant high, sellers took charge. Below here again, sellers took charge. Sellers took charge here. But I think this is just to grab liquidity. All this is to remove stop losses. To grab all the stop, to hit all the stop loss. Come out, take people's money, then I'll go for it. So depending on how you leverage, that's very important. So now when you focus on this part, I thought it would be indication, correction, continuation. So the indication has happened. The correction has been happening. But the correction hasn't, it's like it hasn't ended. Because if it ended, price would be up here, going back up. Now this is a point that where I was telling you, the market, when it comes to the correction, this is not break and retest. Now, this is how clear ICC is. The correction can go up to however far it wants. As you can see, this is the indication. The correction could come up to here. First of all, the correction, let's say, could come up to here and then go up, or hit here, go up, or down here, or up, then or down here, or up, or up. So that's why I'm saying the correction, I don't know if it's over yet. That is why, for it to be over, it will have to break this lower low, lower high, because this is the most recent lower high. And if it breaks here, then you can buy all the way till up here. But forex is all about decision making. Are you good at making decision? Where does your, like, the strength of a decision, where does it come from? What supports it? So yeah, as you can see right now, the market is just selling, but may believe it's going to buy. Let me remove that. I believe it's going to buy at least till here, this level, to make a new lower high. At least it will be a significant lower high. But ideally, I was targeting this high. In fact, ideally, if it goes my way, if my analysis is right, it should be an 8. 1 is to 8.11, because if I zoom out, price is bouncing above this level, buyers above here, buyers above here, there are buyers. So if it buys all the way, and also above here there will be buyers. If it buys all the way till here and then breaks here, what do you think price is going to happen? It will reach till the new level of sellers, because sellers are the ones who pushed the market here. So as of now, let me scroll to the lower time frame. Another confluence was price was at this level and it started making lower highs. As you can see, it made a lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher low, higher high, higher low. Price is on the way to make a higher high, but this doesn't count. Not this part. This part is a confusion, specifically this part. It is there to confuse a lot of traders. Price has clearly made a higher high from a higher low. It has then made a higher low. It has higher high, higher low. That tells you also an uptrend is happening. But then you get, as you're buying, you expect price to come here. But it doesn't. It reaches here. What does this make you feel? It makes you feel confused. And you may think you're fucked, but if you're careful and you're patient, or you know how to read the market properly, you'll understand that as long as price hasn't broken in an uptrend, it has to as long as price hasn't broken a significant higher low, which is this, it is still an uptrend. That's why I thought price would sell. That's why I put this thing here, for price to come, tap here, then buy, and then I give my space. I give this to my space, my stop loss, which really makes sense to me. It really does make sense to me. So that is that is it for CHF GPY. Wow. I actually believe, not to yap too much, but I believe this video, I believe, what do I want to say? Yeah, people who are able to trade any currency pair and make a killing out of it, those guys are really, really, really impressive. For you to just catch a trade from any currency pair or any metal, it's good. It shows like you are really mature and you know what you're doing. That's just my perspective. So this has just been my analysis, and this has been really rather at least easy. And Solana, and it's just good. It's just a lot of, because this is the 4 hour time frame. It's really just a lot of patience. Indication, correction, continuation. It has happened once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and I'm assuming this is going to be the 5th time. So it was basically making a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. A lower high, which I marked, price ended up making a lower low. As you can see, if I stretch this, this was a low, lower low, lower high. If price makes a lower high, it has to make a lower low. That's why I thought of this trade. And this trade was really something else. I actually took a loss 3 times because of stop loss, although it's a demo account. I took a stop loss 3 times. It hit my stop loss 3 times. I should have just let it ride. But now when you're dealing with real money, the emotions, I think we need to talk about the psychology part of it. So the reason why, okay, so it made a new low. So this means when let me stretch this here. I want you to note something over here. Because you understand price making a lower low and lower high, which is a downtrend. So you understand this is a downtrend. So this was a lower high. When price makes a lower high and it is in a downtrend, it has to make a lower low. So I took this trade. And not, I marked this because the market was at this session. This was the most significant low because it was an equal low to this. Because I look at the close candlestick where it is. Let me zoom in. It was closed. It was closed here. So even though I firmly make it there, it was okay. So it bought a bit, making a higher low. Then it broke this. So I believe price when it reaches here, it will sell. Usually it should sell till here, till where the level, the highest level or lowest level reached. So this was the lowest level. So it will sell till here. But I think it will continue sell to grab so much. So it will sell for you to grab a lot of liquidity. So the reason why I believe it would sell over here, because equal low, although there's this thing, don't forget it. Let me scroll. Yeah, if I mapped this out, I saw this was a high and a support, because above here price is just buying. So at support, I believe when price broke this, it would mean sellers are able to get in. Remember this purple line in the 4 hour time frame is a lower high, they are equal lows. So when I scale in, I wanted more confirmation. So I said this here, trap here. I said if price breaks here, it should do what? It should sell. So it has done well up to here. But I believe because it's about patience and the mentality. All it's about the mentality. Now, price what price will do will just be like this. Maybe here, come back again, like this. That's what price might do. And if it breaks here, it can break like that, exactly like that. Yeah, so price can decide to do this, and it just means you wait. So this thing is really, really difficult, but you never know until you just try. Again, there's a ecological part. So this is CAD CHF. Same thing, indication below here, correction, continuation. But this is mentally challenging because I don't like it when press does this. This is really bad for business. But you can't control it. You just have to live with it. So yet again, one candlestick is 4 hours. So you just have to chill and wait for 4 hours for one candlestick. So that means you can't keep on. You can't be on the charts all through. That will really fuck you up. It really will. Yeah, it will. And swinging is where the money is. You just have to be bold enough to go for it. And I think after watching so many clips for these forex traders and teaching you how to learn, no matter if it's supply and demand or SMC, ICT, ICC, or reverse strategy, sometimes you just I think it will reach a point where you just have to sit and it's you at the charts, just like you driving. It's you on the road, and you have fuel, and or it is your job to get fuel and go. So imagine now you're on a new road. All you have is your car and a map. That map isn't good enough, but you know how to read that map. So you have to read that map until it works. And you reach your paradise. I know how to talk. Fuck, I knew this. I predicted this. Anyway, feelings aside. Same thing. And I hope you are observing my cursor while I talk. I know I'm not doing too much, but if you're following the cursor, you'll understand. Indication, correction. Now this is also tricky. But this is the continuation, yeah. Indication, and then it becomes indication, correction, continuation. So just follow my cursor on my hand. Above this high, there will be buyers. Above this high, there will be buyers. So above this high, buyers took in. Both to a level of sellers. Sellers was seated here heavily waiting to push price down. Buyers again said no. But then sellers tried to push it down, but because the trend was up, buyers were many, pushed it up, down, like that. So why is it that here I'm selling? Number one, price was in an uptrend, closing higher highs and higher lows. So it moved this high. Then this high is an indication. So it has to make a correction. So in the correction, the price went low, down. Okay, ideally it would come up to here. Ideally price would come here. And then buy. Okay. But he didn't do that. Price decided to come all the way down here and it's still going. So what is this doing? It is grabbing liquidity, hitting stop loss after stop loss after stop loss. It comes here, people think it's buying. It buys, comes back down. Now, why did I take a sell? Because I looked, I said, okay, it made a high, it made a low. It's supposed to now make a high. So you can see I even took this trade over here on the 4-hour time frame. I actually thought it would buy all the way, but it didn't. It was just forming a resistance on top here. Is it a resistance? Yeah. Price was failing to go above here, so it sold. So it made a high, a lower high. This becomes a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, selling. That's why I actually thought this is going to sell. And I thought it's going to sell into a level of buyers. Where are buyers? Buyers are here. But now this just shows like it can sell. I don't know how long it's going to sell, but I think it can sell. Maybe we'll look again from here. I think I should go full margin on this trade. And although it's a risk, AUDJPY. What? These guys are fucking liars. The gap here is so huge, like the margin, the spread. These guys are fucking bad, bro. Tell me why an account says zero spreads, but early in the morning when the market open, or I don't know, maybe there are some things I don't know about Forex. But in Forex, all you need to know is when to make money. 106, 700. Just a second. So I've taken a trade. I've taken this trade, and I haven't gone full margin because I have $8, but I've risked. Huh? I've put a lot size of 0.01. No, it should be 0.02. I want to modify it. I'm sorry, you guys, for keeping you waiting. Let me just enter. No risk, no fucking Ferrari. I know, guys, you may think I'm joking. I know, my son. You may think I'm crazy. But I have to be crazy in this world, otherwise, because nothing is given to you. So I hope you got that right. Fuck, I was right about this one too. But sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You see, it's all about decision making. How good are you at making decisions? I think for once, stay away from alcohol. Alcohol is the worst thing ever. but we'll get there. We'll get there. Again, indication, correction, continuation. I should. I want to delete. Yep. Oh, oof, oof, oof. Wow. So press was an uptrend, indication, had a correction, had a what should I name this? Had a trick question, or had a quiz, or no, had a moment to confuse you. Press had a moment to confuse you over here, because now you're starting to think, oh, a lower high, a high, a lower low, a lower high. Is this a lower low? No, it's not. I think this is a low. If this is a low, that means this is a lower high. So a high, a lower high, a lower low. But then what happens? It makes an equal low. So that means it's still bullish. For price to be in a downtrend, it has to break a higher low, sorry. For price to be in a downtrend, term. It will, this is an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows again. So it has to break this, and then either come here or here or wherever, but as long as it doesn't break this high, it can come down again. So as long as price here, see, it broke here. So this is it was a high. It was supposed to make it was basically, this is a market structure shift, a shift of structure in the market from bullish to bearish. So for this to happen, price has to come from a higher low to break the high, the most recent lower high, higher low, higher. It comes from a higher high, sorry, to a higher low, and it has to break that higher low. So that higher low, which is this low is higher than this one. You draw your tool there, or your rectangle, that line. Then you wait for price to break. If it breaks, it makes a lower low, because this low is lower than this low, and then price has to look for a lower high. So this lower high, not over here. Let me move. Sorry, not over here. This lower high can be here, as long as it doesn't break this high. It's okay. It can be here, 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 can be here. Exactly here, can even be here. Now it's usually so difficult to know, but you have to find, when you scale into the 1 hour time frame, you will see lower highs and lower lows being formed, and that will be your cue to get in. So, and then there's usually a way when you mark up these TPs and SLs, this thing, I don't know what it's called, short position, long position, short position, okay? So you can see it gives you some small space for your SL to hit, and it goes. So the reason why let me delete this. The reason why I decided I was thinking this would sell is because the continuation went creating also an indication to this high. That means when price comes above here, above this blue line, we, we will buy. But price has just been selling. Let me scale into the 1 hour time frame. In the 1 hour time frame, I saw price reach this high and it has to make a new higher low. But price ended up breaking here. You can see this. Price broke that. Not even that. Price broke there. Because this is basically support. Price is just buying off, buying off, buying off. So it broke here. And then when you scale it into the bigger time frame, below here there are sellers, below here there are sellers. So I was thinking actually it will sell up to the level of buyers. Where are buyers now? Well, buyers are mostly down here. So at first I had put this to come all the way down here. But then again, I'm not sure about price. It might decide to come all the way till here, then buy, or it may decide to come all the way till here, then buy. Sorry, I don't know why insects, mosquitoes are all over my legs. So yeah. So what usually happens? Sai was saying you can do everything right and you still lose. He lost $333 or $36,000, and he did everything right. So you just have to take a leap of faith. I think as long as your rules are followed, you have to take that leap of faith, man. Like sometimes the market works and sometimes it doesn't. Like my explanation makes sense right now, but as you can see at this very moment, it's 148. The market is now buying. It's now buying, selling. There's a lot of tug of war here. So yeah, you just have to let it play out. That's the moral of the story. Let it play out. So this also was the same, but I still hate it when markets do this. Look at this. It was selling well, then it has to come all the way up. If you're going full margin, that account is already blown. Because this is a lot of pips. This big engulfing candlestick is a lot of pips. But I still believe, I still think price will reach down here. So price was on a downtrend. USDCHF actually is one of my best pairs because often times it just respects structure. It is slow, but you can bet on it. So price made a new low over here, then a high. So in between is no trade zone. You mark it up. Usually mark it when you're not sure of the direction. And then another trick is don't move in the first round. Don't enter the trade the first time. Wait for it to give us second chance, because the market sometimes usually gives a second chance. Another thing is also there's the fear of missing the right opportunity. But sometimes what I have been struggling with is sometimes you mark a very significant key level. It's important, that key level. Sometimes the market doesn't even reach there. Sometimes the market passes. So what I tell myself is, I think what we should now practice is if it comes, it just comes. You cannot do anything about it. You cannot control the market. It's like a shadow. Can you control a shadow? Maybe a bit you can, but you cannot hold your shadow the way you can hold your wrist. A shadow is uncontrollable in a way. I don't know if I'm making sense. So this not red zone, it broke. You now this just gives us an indication. So here is a significant low formed. It had to correct because, and in the correction, if price has made a new low, it has to make a high. So it made a lower high, and then it made a lower low. It refused to break this lower low. It made a higher low. So what do? You scale in. You can scale into the 1 hour time frame, and this is it. It was a higher low, a higher high. So you have to mark your higher low, a lower high here, sorry. So as you can see, if I mark this lower high, let me mark it with this black triangle. This shows that price broke here. This is an indication that price has changed into bullish. So you buy up to here, this level. And I say this level because this is the 4 hour time frame. You will buy into the level of sellers, and sellers aren't just below here. They are mostly here because sellers came from here, not here first. They started from up here. Yeah, so, but the overall trend, because you're looking for the overall trend, the overall trend is still bearish. So because you marked these highs and lows, they are just signs and indication that help you know how and where to enter. So this was just greed, I guess. I think sometimes it gets into us, you think you may do everything properly. Sometimes it's just so difficult. This is a lot of nonsense, consolidation, but price broke below. Yeah. So I took here as this is a move confirmation because anything below here, the forward time frame sold up to here. So anything below here will sell up to back up to this level. So let me, yeah. Wow. Lock in, lock in, lock in. This is locking in for 6 months, non-stop consistency. The only thing is that we need flow of income. If you blow an account or you lose money, you fund it back, you go back again. Crazy shit. Forex isn't for everyone. One of the videos that I enjoy the most in Forex is, man, Forex isn't for everyone. If you know you are weak, if you know you are emotional, don't come here. Forex is not a joke. That one is good. Another one is a for unrooted. If you give up on your dream, what do you have? Nothing. And I can't live that way. And then you hear the edits. Come on, fish. That shit really hits deep. So press it afika hapa chini. So that's a mosquito. So this point is how. Imagine being an AI. Imagine there are people who trade with AI. Man, that's such a blessing. It's a cheat code. Those bastards. But imagine manually trading and actually winning. You become the AI. You make it yourself. Even though there's no competition, you are surely more like a god in this realm. So hii ni kama imenikataa bana. Sorry for my international viewers. I'm saying this is like it has rejected me or refused me. It has refused to. My analysis is not in sync with how the market is operating. Apologies for my language, my broken English. So, I'm so tired, but we keep going. So, price here went up. So indication buy, came back down this level. I hope you can see my cursor. See these 2 points. Press bought again up to here, then sold. So I don't know why. Sometimes the market repeats itself. So I'm hoping that the market will see what it did here. I'm not hoping it doesn't mean shit, but the way the way this has happened, this can happen here. So I think for this, I have to put an alarm. These guys are expensive. $28 per month. In a year, that's like $400. That's almost 70,000 subscription. But money isn't real, so if I can make money, I can make 1,000 every week, every week or every day. Every day is delusional. But if you can swing it and make proper money, then that's it. You can pay. So for this one, now the truth is prices was really uptrend from long time ago. As you can see, all this is September, then October, November, December. So I do not know it might buy till when. Yeah, but it has already like this some smart money concept break of structure. I don't know, this is really confusing. But the market right now is selling. But what I know is if price breaks this level, we should be able to enter for buys. We should be able to enter for buys. And then stop loss should be here. Then the target, yeah, is there. USD card and same thing. Indication, correction. Now this is just grabbing liquidity to remove the buyers, hit the stop losses. So I marked this level because in the 4-hour time frame this is very significant. Although it came back down here, I also marked it so that I would know anytime price comes either here or here, we can sell strongly, you'll be more confident. Sorry, I was yawning. So price makes a low, makes a lower high, It breaks this low to make a new lower low. Now it comes, when price makes a new lower low, it has to make a higher low. Now, was I sure it would come all the way up to here? No, but because of market structure, I saw that's where price is most likely to just go to the level of buyers. It will buy to the level of sellers, and as you can see, sellers were here. So sellers are just seated below this black line over here. So that's why I took this up. It went to the temporary. SSE is so good that you can, if you're really good, you can make money from correction and continuation. Sometimes even all three, because sometimes a correction can turn into an indication. Then make money from the correction, then make more money from the continuation. Like you can constantly make money from ICC, but you have to be very advanced. You have to reach size level of mentality. It took him 5 years. We'll do this. Let's do this. So below here, sellers. So if let's say I entered here. Let's say I entered here. If I put this here, ingenitoa. What I mean is my stop loss would have been hit. So how do you know, like, is this the right time to enter? Honestly, it can be difficult because price started making a lower high, a lower low. Then it broke here. What you do is you wait for price to give you an indication on the now the side that the price is going towards. See, it was selling. So this is the indication in the sell side, the correction, the continuation. Now when you enter here, it's more likely to play out because this trick has already happened. And I'm cooking. Am I really cooking? I think I am. Anyway, sometimes I just have so much to. We just have so much in our plate, man. Just don't give up, guys. Sometimes I feel like quitting, but nah. What do we have left if we quit? My back is killing me. I'm still here seated. Anyway, so let me go back to what I was saying. It's sold. So you wait for the indication, the correction, the continuation again for where the data. This is just my thinking. I've never seen Sai say anything about that, but it's just an opinion. So it's made a low, it has to make a high. So the reason why I marked this is because I'm timing when price will actually shift from the structure from a down uptrend to a downtrend here. Because it's made a low. Sorry. It has to make a high. Question is, where will this high go all the way? As you can see here, if I mark this territory over here, as you can see, indication, correction, I'm thinking of sell continuation. So the reason I've marked it because this support will be broken, and if it's broken, it will give me room. You see, even the stop loss will be reasonable. The take profit will be okay. But I'm not sure. Price can decide to just buy. Decisions. So yeah, let me Actually, it might be real, wallahi. Wallahi, you are gay. Wallahi, you are gay. Wallahi, you are gay. Helicopter, helicopter. Another one is this one. But let me remember how. Let me try and recall. I don't think. Okay, one of my biggest problem is going too far. If you analyze from too far, it will be a problem to you. Like this, I messed up because all I was thinking of, this is an indication, correction. So I took this trade as because it's made a low, it has to make a high. So I took this trade from here to go, but I didn't know it was to reach all the way up here because I hope you can see this. Price was making lower high, high, higher low, high, higher high, higher low, high, higher low, high, broke, lower, low, because this low is lower than this one. So it has to make a new high. So yeah, price was ideally to come here and then sell. Okay, so you see, knowing how to mark your charts is very important. Sometimes we fail. So this is a significant high, significant low, significant high, significant low, significant high, significant low, then here, then here, or possibly even down here. So let me explain this. As I said, you mark your highs and lows. So you start from this high, price comes low, high, higher. This low is higher than this one. Comes up, down. Mark it some so that it is visible and clear. So when price broke the significant low, this is an indication that the next time price comes here, there will be sellers. That's why I actually also sell here. But me, I thought it will be like a clear path, like 1, 2, 3. That's what I thought this would play out, but it did. Should have just entered that trade. So I missed out on this. So now this is the indication, the correction. As I told you, correction can happen as long as it doesn't pass the previous higher high. It's still a downtrend. So the correction went all the way up to here. This is over. This is 6 pips. So drag this all the way up to here. This is 14. Ratio of 1 is to 14. That's crazy. That's a long hold. A week, 2 weeks even. Imagine going full margin in this or holding big lot sizes from here. But one thing I don't like, look at these weeks. These weeks can fuck you up. That's called the market. So still, since we're still on a downtrend, I've taken this sell because it made an. So these are a lower low, a lower equal lows, equal highs. So it has to make a new one. It has to make a new lower low. Now it can go all the way to the level of buy. So that's why I think it can come all the way up to here. So good JPY, if you are watching, sell this week. Let's just try sell this week. USD JPY. Whoa, USD JPY fucked me up, bro. it broke a lower, higher low, sorry, a higher low, and then made a lower low, lower high, broke, indicating the correction. Now let's look at the 1 hour time frame over here. I'm sorry guys, I promise I'll get better as time goes by. Listen son and my daughters. I promise that I'll do my best as time goes by. I'm more focused, I'm more down to earth, I'm more straight to the point. So as you can see, when you want to notice a market structure shift, you have to notice the highs and lows. Like when you're going down, you have to notice the stairs above you, because the stairs above you is important, because it is supporting you in order for you to lower your leg to the next stairs. So you see this one, this one, this one. So what draw this. As you can see, let me carry this. I was saying the stairs scenario to here. You step down here up to here, then you step again down, you're going downstairs, you step there. So you draw the rectangle or the horizontal line across. When price breaks, as you can see here, price broke here. This is an indication that when price is above this place, this lower high, there'll be bullish signs. So price actually broke, then came back down. So indication, correction. Then this is manipulation of the market. You don't know that it is a lower low, lower high, so that it can go down. But you don't know that. But because you focus on the higher time frame, the higher time frame shows structures of it being bullish. This is a risk. Every trade is a risk. So you wait to enter here. But then again, there's always a way that in which if you are not keen, if you use this long term thing, there's always a way trades are. Even if you go to social media and you check other people's trade, how they mark up their chart, how they put this long position and short position, there's a way it should look. That pattern, does it look right to you? Look at this. This looks right. It does. Anyway, so it brought all the way up to here, this black line, and I put this black line because at first I didn't know it's this black line. At first I thought it would come up to here, but I put it this. I noticed over here. This was the highest high it was for me. Then price was starting to make this red bearish moves. So I drew from the height of the bearish move. Sorry guys, downwards. I drew it. Then I found so below here there are sellers. So that's why. And then I waited for further confirmation. Further confirmation was as you're going high and you want to break, change market structure, you look at the lower, higher low. So the higher low was broken. So you can see it was broken over here. It was broken over here. And it slowly went down, 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 and down, and down. So I thought price is coming back up, it may change. It's changing because this is kind of also like a support zone. If you are observing, this is this is a support zone because price is barely breaking below this level. So I figured it went in and it was making higher, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. So I thought it would buy, but jokes on me, it is selling. So I lost there. This I just believe it's going to be bullish this week. I mean, it's plain and simple. You can see uptrend, uptrend, indication, correction above this level, especially look at the candlestick. It closed above this level. And this is kind of like a morning star. It should buy. So you started this week should definitely buy. Unless something has happened. Euro USD, this currencies are big. The moment I master you and make money, I swear I will milk you dry. Although I know I can't milk you dry, but I will have my fill of satisfaction. I used to enter these trades of USD, GBP USD. Negative, negative. I'm like, what the fuck? So this is something. So once again, price broke this low. And market structure and price action, I think is the form of everything. Supply demand falls under that, smart money falls under that, SMC falls under that. Like this triangle I drew because I thought it was a demand zone. After I clearly checked low, lower high, lower low. Tried to make a lower high. So I was thinking, where is it going to make a lower high? And I saw that this is a demand zone. I saw that this is a demand zone. So because it's a demand zone, no, not demand zone. Sorry, supply zone. And so hey, it is 2:19 a.m. Sold. Also, and then you see this? Kill two birds with one stone. Sold. So you mark. You can see. You mark this high. Price broke this high. So okay. So what you do? I think if you can, you put an alarm. The next time price reaches here, you buy. So but till here. I thought it would buy till here, but yeah, but till here. Wow. So why did I take this sale? Because I've been looking at it like price is trying to make a new price is changing from uptrend, which is this side, to kind of downtrend. But the uptrend this side was kind of steep and straightforward, as you can see. A high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. But for the downtrend, it stretches. This is stretching. It's stretching. It can come back down on the way till here, yeah. And then, yeah, like something like that. But I don't know. We just wait and see. There's a guy called Otialin, the 254. That boy is a murderer in your USD. USD and GBP usually are the same. So let me tell you about this thing. It was on an uptrend, as you can see. So price came down, broke below this level. This is an indication. So it could have said indication. It should be indication, correction, continuation, all the way up here, right? But it stopped. It did not do as what many people thought it did. So it came high, correction, but it as it was going up, suddenly price just didn't feel like fulfilling the ICC promise and it went back down. It went back down here, and this gives me two things. And it should give you two things. Number one, this is a high. Price broke this level, creating a lower low. This low is lower than this. Another thing, price came back here. And what has it done? It decided to sell, breaking this level with this black arrow, black triangle, broke there, sold there till here. So there are two conferences that price is not changing to be. I'm understanding that the price is changing to be bearish. Which is that? Sold. A downtrend consists of lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What does this happen? Lower high, lower low. So now, as I told you, price can decide to come. The correction can decide to go. So the correction can decide to go as far as it wants to, but as long as it doesn't break the previous higher low, lower high. Sorry, lower high. So price here. So price here has come all the way up to here. This is the correction. It could have come up to here, this level, then sell, but it refused. That's why I put this short position here. It refused. So it hasn't broken this part. So the market is still bullish. That's why I figured I thought it would buy till here and sell. Here, this is manipulation of the market, trying to confuse people. Oh, it's from the lower low, because this low is lower than this low, as you can see. And there, but it has formed that lower, a higher low. But still, it hasn't broken the previous lower, higher. It hasn't broken the previous. For the market to go up, it has to break the previous lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Yeah, it has to break the previous lower high, but it hasn't. So we thought itafika to hapa and then sell all the way down. Can't even break. Sell all the way. So I believe it will sell. Oh shit! It's a DSD, same thing, but as you can see, it's fucking me up. It's fucking me up. Gold is very volatile, but I think it's going to be bullish all through. You can see this level. Lower high, higher low, equal low, but it formed a higher low. So the price is bullish, it will break, come back down, continue, but it will tap back around 5,560. It should, based on what I'm seeing. But now gold is so risky. This can be, depending on your lot size, can ruin you or make you. Finally, BTC USD. Wow. Yeah. So this is it. Indication, correction, continuation. Indication, correction, continuation. So I think it's going to, it should sell. Oh, fuck. Give me a break. Oh. It should sell. Because ideally, that's how it is. Anything below this black line, sellers, because sellers were here, indication, correction, continuation. So it should come out there till here. So this is just confusion, confusing you, because you think price has made a new lower, higher low. This low is higher than this low. You think it's not going to make a buy, continue buy, like start the bullish trend. No, not necessarily. As long as it hasn't broken the previous lower high. And I went to the levels. I marked this level so that when price comes anything below here, there are sellers. You can see sold, sold, selling. So here people will say break, retest, sell. So yeah, I'm thinking of that. So sorry, this is my first video. I'm so tired, and but I hope it'll work out. If it doesn't work out, we'll just show up again. So thank you guys. Bye.